The film opens in 1995, hours after the downtown shootout in Heat. Vincent Hanna, still reeling from Neil McCauley's death on the runway, receives intel that Chris Shiherlis survived. Bleeding but determined, Chris hides in the shadows of Los Angeles, relying on underworld connections. Hanna sets up a citywide dragnet, vowing not to let anyone slip through. The tension is palpable. Unfinished business hangs heavy. Meanwhile, Chris's wife Charlene is under FBI pressure to betray him. She battles fear for her family's safety with loyalty to her husband. A mysterious associate, Nate's old contact, reaches out offering Chris safe passage out of L.A. But the price is steep. He must commit to another high-stakes job to buy freedom. Chris reluctantly agrees, seeing no other way out. We flash back to the early 1980s in Chicago. A younger Neil McCauley leads a disciplined crew through armored car robberies and precision heists. Here, we meet a younger Chris, still green, who Neil takes under his wing. The sequences highlight Neil's criminal code. No attachments, no slip-ups. Chris learns hard lessons, laying the foundation for who he will become. Parallel to this, Vincent Hanna is shown as a rising detective in Chicago. Ambitious but reckless, Hanna's personal life is already strained. He develops the relentless instincts that later define him, pursuing cartel-connected robberies with almost obsessive focus. His clash with organized crime bosses plants seeds for future enemies. Back in the present, Chris is smuggled out of Los Angeles and reaches Las Vegas under a new identity. A syndicate boss named Anton Rivas offers him a deal: lead a new crew on a casino heist in exchange for safe passage to South America. Chris sees the danger but can't resist the lure of one last score. Charlene, under surveillance, makes her own dangerous choices. She secretly communicates with Chris through intermediaries, but federal agents are watching closely. Hanna senses her divided loyalty and sets a trap, hoping Chris will reach out. Hanna's instincts prove sharp, but Charlene is more cunning than expected. Flashbacks show Neil's crew pulling off a high-tech bank job in Houston years earlier. The planning, precision, and cold efficiency reveal Neil's brilliance. Chris, younger and reckless, nearly blows the job, but Neil covers for him. Their bond deepens, forged in blood and loyalty. Hanna, in the present, studies Chris's movements with surgical focus. He knows Chris has survivor's instincts and won't stay small time. When whispers of the Vegas job hit Hanna's desk, he mobilizes federal task forces. Hanna's obsession grows. He sees Chris as Neil's unfinished shadow. Chris assembles a new crew, but they lack Neil's discipline. A hot-headed safecracker and a trigger-happy wheelman create tension. Chris struggles to assert control, echoing Neil's teachings. As the heist approaches, Chris realizes he's becoming the very mentor Neil once was. Meanwhile, Rivas has his own agenda. He plans to double-cross Chris once the job is done, using him as expendable muscle. Rivas's enforcers close in, watching Chris and his team. The underworld chessboard is being set, and betrayal is inevitable. Hanna faces turmoil at home once again. His marriage, already strained, collapses under the weight of his obsession. He sacrifices personal peace for the hunt, a tragic mirror of his earlier life. Hanna knows he's walking the same cycle, but can't stop himself. The Vegas heist begins in a whirlwind of tension. Chris's crew infiltrates the casino with precision, exploiting inside access. But the wheelman panics, causing chaos. Gunfire erupts, alarms blare, and Chris must improvise under fire. The escape turns bloody, with casualties mounting on both sides. Chris barely escapes with a fraction of take. He realizes Rivas never intended to let him live. His paranoia grows as he hides in safe houses, hunted by both Rivas and Hanna. Chris begins plotting his counterattack, determined not to die running. Hanna arrives in Vegas, taking over jurisdiction with his usual intensity. He studies the heist aftermath like a surgeon reading an autopsy. Every move Chris makes feels like deja vu. The ghost of Neil haunts every decision. Hanna knows the endgame is near. Flashback again to Neil's final years before Heat. He executes a daring robbery in Mexico, drawing the attention of international players. Neil's philosophy of detachment cracks slightly when he saves Chris's life during an ambush. For the first time, Neil's code shows weakness, foreshadowing his fate. In the present, Chris finally strikes back. He ambushes Rivas's men in a brutal shootout, sending a message that he won't be hunted quietly. The violence escalates across Vegas, drawing national attention. Hanna narrows the circle, closing in. Charlene secretly arranges to reunite with Chris. The FBI catches wind and sets up surveillance, hoping Chris will take the bait. Chris, torn between survival and family, risks exposure for one final meeting. The emotional tension mirrors Neil's doomed choice years before. The showdown unfolds in the Nevada desert. Chris meets Charlene under moonlight, but Hanna and his team descend. Gunfire breaks out as Rivas's men also arrive, turning it into a three-way war. Charlene escapes in the chaos, but Chris is mortally wounded. In his final moments, Chris locks eyes with Hanna. There's no hatred, only recognition of two men bound by fate. Hanna holds Chris's hand as life slips away, echoing Neil's runway death. The cycle of violence has claimed another, leaving Hanna hollow. The film closes with Hanna alone, staring at the Vegas skyline. He's victorious yet broken, haunted by the ghosts of men he hunted and men he lost. Charlene disappears into anonymity, carrying the legacy of love and loss. The credits roll over city lights, as man's world of crime and obsession remains eternal.